Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. Well, this story today is about the racially polarizing trial of Karmelo Anthony, a black teen, over the April 2025 death of Austin Metcalf, a white teen, that drew national attention last year, sparking a debate about self-defense, race, school safety, and the state criminal laws in Texas. Both teens at the time were 17 years old. Karmelo Anthony stabbed to death Austin Metcalf. Though Anthony was 17 at the time of the murder on April 2nd, 2025, under Texas law, he was able to be charged as an adult, and not one juror during his trial was black in this case. It took the jury to reach a verdict in less than 3 hours. The judge had allowed them to consider a lesser charge of manslaughter, which would have carried a shorter sentence of up to 20 years in prison, but the jury did not choose it. Therefore, Karmelo Anthony received a 35-year sentence. Both teens, Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf, were both 4.0 GPA students. So this is a cautionary tale. This is a sad case for both teens and for both families, in the sense that one lost their life physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and the other one, the perpetrator of the crime, Karmelo Anthony, has lost his life physically by being sentenced to prison for 35 years. So Austin Metcalf lost his life physically, spiritually, will no longer be here. And Karmelo Anthony lost his life spiritually and physically and will be incarcerated for at least 35 years. Both of these kids, 4.0 students. So we're talking about at this prime age, this primal age that they're at, we have potentially, this is almost like a young doctor having a disagreement, an argument, and a fight with a young lawyer. The potential was there for both of them. Both of them were 4.0 GPA students. And at one bad choice, even though you're a teenager, if you make adult decisions, there are adult consequences. And this is what this story is all about. So in the backstory, evidently there were rival schools, and this happened at a track and field event at one of the high schools. But here again, the loss of 2 lives of young people that had their lives in front of them. I try to do these stories to bring some awareness and consciousness to moving our lives, manifesting our lives in a positive way. And this is a typical story of one teen making a poor decision to allegedly go into the opposing team's tent and get into an altercation with Karmelo Anthony gets into an altercation with Austin Metcalf. Karmelo makes a poor decision going into the tent, makes a poor decision pulling out a knife, and then thirdly makes a poor decision in stabbing Austin Metcalf. And in just that split second, both of their lives, Austin Metcalf, Karmelo Anthony's life, has changed forever, along with their families. We, as older adults, have to make sure that we teach our young people, our young kids, our grandchildren, our nieces and nephews, to try to make sound decisions, to consciously think through adversity. Conflict mediation, conflict resolution is important. Many of these kids are raising themselves and have underdeveloped brains as teenagers, and are making adult decisions, as I said, but they are not realizing there are adult consequences, especially when you're dealing with the criminal court system in the United States of America. So let's get into what happened. For those who may not know, this has made national news. I had not talked about it, and I said I'll do a video now that the verdict has come out. It's been all over. It's in the algorithm and all over social media. So here's the incident for those who don't know. On April 2nd, 2025, 17-year-old Austin Metcalf, this is the white student, at Frisco Memorial High School, was fatally stabbed by Karmelo Anthony, a black student. And we're not talking about Karmelo Anthony, the ex-NBA player. They have no relation. A student at Frisco Centennial High School during a high school track and field meet at David Kendall Stadium in Frisco, Texas. Witnesses said the two got into an argument over Karmelo Anthony being under Austin Metcalf's school tent during the rainy track meet. So it rained real hard, and somehow Karmelo Anthony ended up under the tent of the opposing team, where Austin Metcalf, his brother, and his other teammates were at. One witness testified that Karmelo Anthony was asked to leave the tent roughly 15 times before the encounter and the fight escalated. Austin Metcalf's twin brother, Hunter, was nearby, saw his brother get stabbed once, and tried to stop the bleeding. Despite life-saving measures by police and fire personnel, including CPR, Austin Metcalf, the white teen, died in his brother's arms. Austin Metcalf was a 4.0 GPA student, was MVP of the football team, and had a bright future ahead. Also, Karmelo Anthony was allegedly a 4.0 student, and he also had a bright future ahead. And now all those hopes and dreams have dashed and gone away in a split second. This is the cautionary tale of this story. So this is what happened in the trial. Here again, kids making adult decisions. And in this system, in places like Texas, Alabama, definitely in the South, Missouri, there are adult consequences when you get into those adult criminal courts. So the murder trial began with jury selection on June 1st, 2026. That was just a few weeks ago in Collin County, and drew national attention amid controversy, racial tensions, and threats. Karmelo Anthony, it drew national attention amid controversy, racial tensions, and threats. Karmelo Anthony did not take the stand in his own defense. His mother, Kayla Hayes, was the sole defense witness during the sentencing phase, saying that Karmelo Anthony was sorry for what he did to Austin Metcalf. The defense argued that, Karmelo Anthony's defense attorneys argued self-defense, while prosecutors called the stabbing senseless and plain and simple that it was murder. So the verdict and the sentencing, a Collins County jury deliberated for about 3 hours before reaching a unanimous guilty verdict for murder on June 9th, 2026. So they gave him a murder conviction on June 9th, 2026. Jurors rejected the defense's claim that the murder was committed under sudden passion, which would have reduced the sentence for Karmelo Anthony to under 20 years. There were also no black jurors in this Collins County jury. It was an all-white jury. People have some controversy and are definitely upset about that. Where were some of jurors that look like him, that look like they could be his mother or father? It was an all-white jury in Texas, in the South. Even in 2026, I tell you all the time, 99% of these stories that are out here, when it comes to black and white, there is race play that is always involved and has an underbelly in this story. This is a black kid that killed a white kid. Karmelo Anthony, now 19, was sentenced to 35 years in prison on the same day as the verdict. He will be eligible for parole after serving at least half of that time. Anthony's legal team filed a motion or a notice of appeal less than 24 hours after the verdict. So there's been all kinds of talk. You got on one side, the black side, you have social media influencers like Willie D, who thinks that Karmelo Anthony got railroaded, especially with the all-black jury. The state of Texas, as you know, Willie D was from Rap-A-Lot, and he grew up in Houston, so he knows all of the history in his 50 years of living at least of what the state of Texas is like when it comes to those criminal courts and black defendants. On the other side, you have social media juggernauts and podcasters like Megyn Kelly, white female lawyer, who believes that Austin Metcalf, the victim, was ended up in a very, very bad spot. And she and Megyn Kelly felt that Karmelo Anthony made an adult decision in killing and stabbing Austin Metcalf. And Megyn Kelly, here again, white female attorney, felt that that Karmelo Anthony possibly should have gotten the death penalty, and that everything he did leading up to that altercation with Austin Metcalf consciously required that he knew what he was doing. He made an adult decision, and he should at least get 35 years in prison, if not 35 years to life or the death penalty. So you get Willie D's side of it in defense of Karmelo Anthony, thinking that it should have been manslaughter, or he should have been acquitted for self-defense. And you got Megyn Kelly on the other side, white female attorney, who thinks that the 35-year sentence of Karmelo Anthony was not enough. Tell me what you think in this story. This is very controversial. There's race play. We're talking about two teens whose lives have changed forever, and whose both families' lives will have changed forever as a result of this one incident last year on April the 2nd, 2025. It's unfortunate for both of them. Tell me what you think. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth.